Today, I'm going to be telling you guys the story of my school's kickball tournament. I'm going to go in depth on how the tournament worked and how my class did in the tournament. But without further ado, let's get into the story. So every year, the school that I go to hosts a kickball tournament for a certain grade. All the other grades can just sit there and watch the tournament unfold. But this year, I got to play in the kickball tournament. So basically how it worked is at the beginning there were 3 seeding games that each class would play, and that would determine what place you were in. And then you would go against a bunch of other classes and work your way up the bracket, and eventually that would lead to the finals, and whoever wins that wins the whole thing. Okay, now let's get into how the tournament went. So our class was made up of a lot of really good and athletic people. A lot of kids in our class could kick the ball really far. I had another friend who was a really good team captain, and I was there too. So going into our first seeding game, our class felt good. And funny story, at the time that the first seeding game was happening, we were in the middle of watching a movie called Remember the Titans. You've probably heard of it. And in one scene in the movie, the Titans enter a game doing a really cool dance.
For the first time this season.
So that's what we did entering our first seeding game. So I also want to tell you that the position I played every game was outfield, right in the center outfield. So the first class we went against was, actually I can't say the real name. We'll call them the Turbo class. So the game went okay. I'm pretty sure we managed to keep it tied up for a little bit, but in the end we lost. Actually, there's something I'm not telling you. I'm not trying to point any fingers, but the Turbo class they cheated, I'm pretty sure. There were some unfair calls being made and definitely some other stuff. There was a lot of confusion, and when we got back into the classroom, our whole class was really mad because the game just didn't turn out how we wanted to. The other class cheated a little bit, I guess. But we didn't let that stop us. Both of our classes put the incident behind us and kept going in the tournament. But things were definitely looking up for our class because we won the next 2 seeding games, which put us 2nd place overall. And then when the actual games started, we were doing good. We weren't losing a single game. We had a very good lineup of players for kicking. We had a bunch of good kicks. We had a lot of classes cheering for us. It was going good. Also, the kid playing next to me was just an amazing catcher, so that was great. Okay, so we kept winning games. A lot of it was because we were the home team, which meant we got something called a home field advantage. But eventually, we made it to the semi-finals against a really good class. Okay, so the pressure was on, right? A lot of classes were watching us, and if we didn't make this, we didn't make it to the finals. So I remember we did really good this game and ended up winning by a landslide. So that meant we were in the finals. So here it was, the day of the finals. And do you want to know who we were going against? The Turbo class. And let me tell you, the Turbo class was doing great. They hadn't lost a single game. And we had only lost 1 game against them in the beginning. So we were going against an all-star team. Not to say that we weren't an all-star team, because we were, but and even more bad news, our first baseman couldn't make it to the game today, so we had to get someone else to play first base. So everyone in our class was kind of stressing out because every class was watching us, and this would determine who won the entire tournament. But we had faith in ourselves. We said we would win it for our absent first baseman. So I'm going to tell you, we played a pretty good game. We were winning for a little bit, and I think we were tied for a little bit. But I'm going to tell you, in the end, we ended up winning. We won 4-1 against the Turbo class, which meant we won the whole tournament. I think it was a pretty good game. We were all really good sports about it. Our class was really excited. And although I didn't get any home runs or amazing catches, I was just glad to be a part of an amazing team. And we also got a ticket to free laser tag, but that's besides the point.
I'm feeling like I'm winning and I'm feeling like I gotta get away, better know that I don't and I won't ever stop, cause you know I gotta win every day.